good was it to get back out there and have a start like that?
I don't know. It was good. I think I went into the game and with a game plan a little bit, try to use my four seam a little bit more elevated, and that's pretty much it. I felt like against the Giants, I felt like I threw the ball well, made two mistakes, gave up homers. Basically the same thing with my next start. In Arizona, threw well against the Cardinals. And then in New York, I felt like just out of the stretch, it's like I got out of whack, and I paid dearly for it. And but it's like I still felt like the first couple innings, I felt good. I felt good about it. And then, you make a few mistakes, you get out of it a little bit, and then it's like you look up, and the next thing you're out of the game in the third inning, and you put the team in a hole. And I mean, those things happen. It's just. But being objective about how I've been throwing the ball, okay, pretty good. I just feel like there's been just a couple pitches in a couple of those outings where it's like you might look back and be like, man, you actually you get the result you were looking for, and I didn't. There was a couple mistakes that I made, and I paid dearly for them. And then that last start, it's just like I said, I think I just got out of whack in the third.
And obviously, how important Soler and Luke Jackson were a few years ago. How nice is it to have both of those guys back here?
Yeah, well, I think the familiarity, the people that they are, what they bring to the clubhouse and onto the field, but for the chemistry of the team, to have those guys back in the clubhouse is really nice. And obviously Soler's been having a good year. I think he's a great dude, and I love watching him play. And Luke, I know, is the same. And I know he's starting to get into a little bit better, and the arm's getting going a little bit better, and he's starting to bounce back and be himself. So I was so happy when I saw both of them.
Got an early lead there. How nice is it? It looks like the offense is finally starting to do what it does. 2 home runs in the first inning there, and suddenly you have a lead.
Yeah, because I think it's like when the guys are on, that's how we score, right? It's like, yeah, sure. I mean, we have guys that are good bat to ball guys, and I think plenty good hitters. But when they're being themselves, there's power there, there's pop, there's homers, so there's damage, and I think that's what it is. I think I've said this before. It's like that's really what you want to see. You want to see guys that are just being themselves, and I think a lot of our guys are those guys. They're just power guys. They're damage guys.
You leadoff man reached, I think, 5 out of 6 innings. Did you feel like you were kind of under pressure all night with a guy, like I said, with the leadoff man on almost all the time?
I don't know. I mean, it's like the first pitch of the game. Xavier takes a four-seamer away, he puts it in play, and he shoots it the other way. And then, Berger, I made a pretty good pitch out or third or whatever on a breaking ball. He just stayed out and flipped it into left field. And at that point when it's in the first inning, and I think that's when it kind of gets, you're trying to find your groove, and you're trying to just be like, all right, come on, guys, let me get going a little bit. But that's not the way it works, right? It's like you have to get out there and make pitches and be aggressive. So when you get 2 guys on to lead off the game, yeah, I mean, it starts to speed up a little bit. It can. But tonight I felt good about my delivery. I felt good about my four-seamer at the top. I was getting some swing and miss on my four-seamer tonight, which I think is something that that's just part of my game when I'm doing well. When I'm going out there and I'm start to start, and I'm that aspect of my game is something that makes me, right? It's like, because it helps my breaking ball. If I'm four-seam at the top, breaking ball at the bottom, I can run a two-seamer in. On righties, I can run it front hip it to lefties, and I got a little changeup and a cutter. But it's like, if they're eliminating the top half of the zone, it makes it a lot easier. And I think that I can afford to give up hits if my four-seamer is working and my breaking ball is there. And then, so it's kind of subjective. Like, do I feel pressure? Not necessarily when my stuff's there. It's like if there's nobody on and I'm attacking a guy with a contact pitch like a sinker or a changeup or a cutter, and I give up some hits, which happened tonight, I know that. I know why that happens. But if it's like they're driving balls deep into the gaps and over the wall, and I forcing my curveball, that's when I'm like, it's like probably not where I need to be.
All right. Any other questions? Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, how encouraging has this trend been of just continuing to hit for power?
No, it's good. It's kind of, we're due a run, really. But it's kind of, it's good to see because, it'd be nice to string together some other things every now and then. But you know what? If not, and we're going to start doing that. It's good.
What about the job Charlie did?
He's good. He it's great when he can cover six. Is awesome, I think. And regrouped a lot. Things kind of started to get away from him a little bit a couple times, and he regrouped and solid job.
You guys won 5 out of 6. Have you seen a common thread, common theme?
Well, we're hitting again. Yeah, we're hitting again. Bullpen continues to be really solid. Starting pitching's been really good, and the biggest thing has been is the runs and putting together something consistent offensively, and we're kind of scratching the surface of doing that.
Orlando with a 12-game hitting streak.
Yeah, no, he looks great. Hats off to him for hanging with himself, and now he kind of looks like his old self and playing great defense too. So that's really good to see.
And we were talking before the game always about Matt too and what he's done. Again, a pretty good night.
Yeah, no, that's probably one of the most encouraging things is to see how he's kind of getting himself going and confidence and everything, and the way he's been hitting, that'll do it.
What'd you think of Luke?
No, it's good. Yeah, I'm glad we got him out there. It's he's been in high pressure situations a lot. He closed here for a while. Was a late inning guy, so I was kind of glad we could get him in there, and it's a nice job.
Jorge, obviously, he's back here. Hasn't been with you guys for very long, but that's a weapon that you guys have added.
No, gosh, yeah, it's in an opposition lineup, they look at that with him at the top, and then you look at what that looks like, and I thought he's done really good in the outfield. I'm going to nuzzle up to him every day to see how his legs are, and we'll try and get him out of the game when we can. It's kind of like spring training a little bit to get his body back in game shape to play the outfield every day. And so, we got the off day we can work with kind of creatively the next few days. And but I think it's been good the last 2 days that he's only played 7 innings, which is, I think that's really big. And so, we're just going to try and get him back in outfield shape.
Anything else?
Okay, thanks.
Congrats.